And welcome back to Financial Safari. I'm consumer advocate Steve Siddall, and of course, with Parker Holland, Chief Wealth Strategist at Capital Financial, and this is called Planning with Parker. Now, let's talk about, as obviously planning for retirement. Capital Financial, you again focus on that transition between the saving and then the distribution and ultimate preservation of that money. And where does a mortgage fit into that? You know, it used to be the day that you'd see the TV shows, well, they're burning the mortgage. How important is that?
Mortgages aren't bad, especially with interest rates as low as they are. And a lot of people think they can't retire until a mortgage is paid off. Okay. That's a huge misconception. Everything can be fit into a budget if every other piece is working together. And what I love, Coach has heard him say before, God's not making more land. That's a great hedge. And when you're paying a mortgage of 3% interest, it's fixed, and you're earning 7% in a retirement account or an investment account, that's always been the argument we have to make. Math versus emotion. And emotion normally always wins. So what we always focus on is personalized for each person we talk to is what is best for their emotional happiness versus financial happiness. And it's sometimes a very thin line.
And we've talked before about good debt versus bad debt. So in the case of a mortgage with a low interest rate, if you don't have that much to pay off, that could be considered good debt.
And it can, and you're leveraging the money, you're buying time in essence, and that can actually greatly improve the retirement plan. But then the vice versa of that too is a lot of people get to the last parts of the mortgage, let's say when they only have a $10,000 left or more, not drastic amounts, they're thinking of just wanting that lump sum, knowing they have the money there to knock it out. That can be a huge impact. I've seen this before. A person loaned themselves money from a 401k to pay off a mortgage, paying off a loan with a loan. I mean, you need to know how every moving part works, and that is a very important decision that needs to be discussed.
Another part of the discussion that might be difficult, I think, at times for you is if they've been in the house for 30 plus years, there may be things that need to happen to that house, and as we get a little older, the less apt we are to want to do those things.
And the other side of it too is lines of credit, equity lines. People might not have a mortgage, but they have an equity line now, and I mean, that's still debt, and they're doing it for house repairs because they've tackled the snowball of the mortgage, but now they're having to pay off that. I mean, you need to make sure what's right for you because a lot of people forget. I mean, that house equity, that's an investment. That's a tangible asset that can be used in your favor. And it just seems what's right for you, what state you're in, what tax laws are, what the write-offs are. There's a lot of moving parts.
And it may make sense at some point to decide, well, I'm going to move to a more tax-friendly state.
And then the other part of it too, I've heard a lot of questions recently about reverse mortgages.
Oh, okay, good question.
It can work. We're not saying it's good or bad. Everything's case by case, but it could work. And a lot of people forget that when you have that property, if you're not looking at earmarking it for the legacy for the kids, grandkids, whoever it may be, it might be a great way to increase your retirement standard of living.
And by staying in the house.
And you can still be in the house, you and your spouse, and you can still have full mobility, full access, pretty much full control.
But again, those are, like you said, it's a case by case.
It's case by case.
It's not good, it's not bad, but you've got to check it out.
Exactly. And just pretty much like it comes to everything, it all depends on what's best for you and your plan.
Sure.
I appreciate how Parker addressed mortgages there, and this is just one of the many topics that you address in your own box set, these 7 financial blind spots. What else do you speak of in there?
Well, it's a gigantic, let's talk about the mortgages.
Sure,
it's a gigantic concept, folks, because really, that's the biggest decision you made in your life a lot of times is buying that house. And now another big decision is should you pay it off before you retire?
No doubt.
My argument is no, not with interest rates as low as they are right now. Here's why I don't recommend you pay your house off, because a lot of times you want to take the money out of your 401k, your retirement plan, to pay your house off. So now you're going to owe taxes on that money, and you may have a penalty if you're under 59.5, a 10% penalty. Plus, you're robbing your retirement plan. You might not be able to retire on time.
There you go.
So I talk about that and many other aspects in that 7 financial blind spots book set, box set, DVD, workbooks in there. And I'm going to put together your very own retirement plan with the team, as well as give you that box set for the next 10 people who call right now. You get that golden ticket.
All right, folks, that number to call is 888-910-8265, 888-910-8265, or you can text BREEZE to 21,000. That's BREEZE to 21000.